This is accounting. We are on Chapter 7, Lesson 2, and we're going to be doing the work together. So on this one, we're going to be preparing a balance sheet. If you look in your textbook, it's going to tell you that this is for Ken's carpet cleaning, and we are going to be preparing a balance sheet for April the 30th of the current year. Over here we have our balance sheet information from our worksheet, and we're going to be filling out our balance sheet. This is on page 147 in your textbook and page 192 in your, page 147 in your workbook and page 192 in your textbook. So this is our heading, just like we did on our income statement. We're going to, on the top line, list the name of our company. And this is going to be Ken's Carpet Cleaning. On the next line, we're going to list what kind of report this is. This is our balance sheet. And on the third line, we're going to list the date. Because a balance sheet is like a picture in time, it's a snapshot of a current date. It's not anything that's showing what happened during a time period. So for this one, we don't put for month ended or for year ended. This is actually just a basic date. So this is April the 30th of the current year. Okay, and it formatted that one weird, so just make sure that you format that like you should for it to be a regular word. Do that again. Okay, now we have it. So on our balance sheet, it's divided into two halves. Over here we have where we're going to list our assets. And so pretend like this is your equal sign. So assets equals. And over here we're going to have our liabilities and our owner's equity. So on the top line, I'm going to center the word asset. Sorry, assets. And we're going to then list all of our assets. Now we're going to have to come over here and see what is an asset, what is a liability, and what is an owner's equity. So your assets are going to be anything that you own of value. So that's going to be our cash, petty cash, all of our accounts receivables, our supplies, and our prepaid insurance. Basically, everything that has a normal debit balance is going to be an asset. So we're going down to prepaid insurance, and we're just going to list those and their balance. Okay, and we'll just go right on along. Okay, if you need to pause the video while you go ahead and list out all your assets, go ahead and do that. Okay, I've got all my assets listed. So the next thing I'm going to do is I need to total up my assets. But first of all, I want my totals for this side of my balance sheet and my totals for this side of my balance sheet to be on the same line. So I'm not sure exactly how many liabilities and owner's equity I'm going to have over here. So I'm not going to do my totals yet. So I'm going to come over to this side and I'm going to center this. And this is going to be my liability section. Okay, and I'm going to come over here and look and see what I have for liabilities. I have 2 accounts payable. Liabilities are anything you owe. So I owe my accounts payable. So I'm going to list my accounts payable items right here. And you can go ahead and pause the video while you list out your accounts payable. Okay, I've got both of my liabilities listed. The next thing I'm going to do is add up my liabilities. So I'm going to write total liabilities. And I'm just going to add these two numbers together. And when I add them together, I get $659. Okay, I'm going to, on the next line, we're going to have our owner's equity section. So I'm going to center this one. And I'm going to type owner's equity. And my only owner's equity looks like I have 2 of them. I have a capital and I have a drawing. When you're doing your balance sheet, you don't list both the capital and drawing. You're only going to list capital And we're going to go ahead and do some math and take the drawing out of it. Because basically capital is how much we have invested into our business, and drawing is how much we have taken out of our business. So if we would just do the math and go ahead and subtract, we're only going to have to list this once because our drawing is going to be absorbed into our capital. So I'm going to list my capital account. And to get the number here, it is not this 11,810. Here is where I have to do my math. So just so you can see what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my 11,810. Okay, so I've got, this is the amount of my capital, 11,810. And I'm going to subtract the amount of my drawing, which I took out of my capital account, which was 855. And then I'm going to add in my net income. Because this is a net income, that means that my business has increased in value by $1,899. And that's actually my money. I could pull that out if I wanted to, or I could leave it in my business for the next month. Typically, you don't just pull out all your net income because you want to leave capital in there so you can make some changes, invest in other things. So in this one, because we're not listing our net income over here, we're going to go ahead and add it into our capital. So you can see here I'm going to take the $11,810, which is my capital, minus my drawing, plus my net income. Okay, and that's how I'm going to get my answer to put in my capital account. So I'll just go ahead and do my math. Okay, so you should get a capital account of $12,854. If you didn't come up with this number, double check your math, double check what you were adding and subtracting to make sure you get that right. Okay, don't actually write this on your balance sheet. This is just so that you could see what I was doing. Okay, so then I'm going to take my liabilities and my owner's equity to get my total. I said I wanted to put my totals on the same line. So I'm not going to put my total here because I can't put my total over here. So I'm going to come down so I can put totals all the way across here. So I'll come back over here and do my total assets. Put that in, and I'm going to add up all of my assets. Because I'm using Excel, I can just tell it to add those up. I got $13,513. Are those correct? I don't know yet. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put total liabilities, and you'll have to abbreviate this to make it fit. So LIAB period and owner's equity. Okay, and I'm going to add my total liabilities and my total owner's equity. So 659 plus my 12,000 number. I got $13,513. That is the same as that. I'm going to go ahead and come in here and draw all my borders. Oops. So I had a line here to show I added. I had a line here to show that I added. And I have a line down here to show that I added. Because these match, I need to do my double line. So I'm going to come over here, do my double line, and come over here and do my double line. Okay, so my balance sheet is done. I'll go ahead and delete these out because you don't want those on there. So go ahead and you're going to do the on your own for 7.2. Pause the video while you do that and then double check to make sure you got the right answers. Okay, this should be what your 7.2 on your own looks like for Annie's alterations. Again, double check, make sure your total assets equaled. Make sure you have the correct total liabilities, the correct capital, and your correct total down here, and that these two totals matched. Also make sure you did all your double rulings. The other thing, this is just the month or the specific date, not for a month ended. So if this is correct, you're ready to go on. Go ahead and do 7.2 application problem. Then you're ready to do your mastery problem. Be sure you have completed all of your guided reading notes and your study guide, and you will be ready for the test. Good luck.